practice that and we get a little bit more ball flight that we're happy with, I'm going to give you a drill to use. And the drill that we're going to use today is going to be practicing carrying it a certain distance. So, you know, we're trying to avoid landing it in the fringe here because of the unpredictable bounce.
Right.
So, you know, I usually will use an alignment stick for this, but since we happen to have string right next to us, that's just as good. But what I want us to do is make sure that we carry the ball past the string when we land.
Okay.
That's our goal. I mean, we'll worry about how it releases, and we can figure that over time practicing,
okay,
and see how your particular ball spins, or depending on the ball you're using, depending on the club you're using.
Right.
But let's for now worry about number one, getting in the air, which we already looked at, ball flight,
okay,
and the second part of that is making sure that we hit it far enough, because I think the tendency on these kind of shots is to be hesitant,
right,
and come up short,
okay,
and then you're not going to use it because you came up short so often.
right.
So once we get comfortable with the ball flight, we get comfortable with the swing, let's focus on making sure we get the ball onto the green and give it a chance to roll out a little bit for us.
Okay.
So let's work on that a little bit and hit a couple past there. I'll get these off the green for you. So I think that's something you can take with you when you go out to practice if you're not having a good putting week or a couple of days. But why don't you give that a try and see what you think of that little drill.
After a lag putt, because I mean lag putts you're looking to get 6 feet, and that's when you really need to be on the right path to knock it in.
Right.
Right over the ball. Okay.
And see, that's also telling you that you're bringing your club up pretty quick after you make contact.
So I shouldn't be hitting the string.
Should not be hitting the string.
Okay.
It's all right. Nice putt. Obviously straight. And obviously, I mean, we can raise these up since you...
I need it about waist high.
Now, can you see out of your peripheral vision any sort of feedback on where your club path is going? Or is it a little out of sight, out of mind?
It's almost out of sight, out of mind, because when I'm putting from here, I don't tend to look at the ball as it rolls.
Okay.
I try to focus on keeping my eye on the ball. It's just something I've always
Head
done.
down?
Yep.
Or eyes down, I guess I should say.
Just listen for it to hit the cup.
Nice.
Which it doesn't do very often. So what I do get out of this though is here, I get that part of it. Here, again, I'm not really focused on it because it's out there. But I think it's a pretty sweet drill. I think it's something that you can work with instead of tees, like you said. So what happens with tees is you just make them bigger, right?
Yep. Yeah. And
you can't manipulate
you can't make
it.
this easier.
Right.
I think it's one of those things that if you have a couple of bad days putting, that, like you mentioned this earlier to me about trying to get back to basics,
Right,
and keeping it simple.
right.
And I think this is one of those drills where it's very simple to set up, it's very simple feedback,
Yes.
and if you have a couple of putting days that aren't quite your best and you're not trusting your stroke, this is a very quick way to see what you're doing.